the Women's Business Center. Your first step to
So
success.
Lucia, why don't you tell us about your industry? What made you get that passion? Where did it come from? How did you do it?
Just came to this by, was the only open way to follow. I asked for a sales job in Maquiladora in Saltillo, and the position was taken when I went to ask for this, and they told me there's a position open in a purchasing department, but it's only for MRO parts, for maintenance, repair, and operation. They need someone with some English skill. So I asked for this, I needed the job, and I just took it. And I was around 7 men, and buying cardboard and adhesives and some weird stuff. And going every day back and forth to the warehouse, tool room, and areas of where the machines were there. And later on, they were asking me to buy motors and to buy the sprockets or couplings or whatever it was needed for the facility. So from this, another corporation was placed there in the city, Filtros Champion Laboratories, and they asked for someone that has these skills that they needed right away, and they recommend, this corporation recommend me to the other one. So in the other one, I was taking care of 600, facility of 600 people working there, and you had to bring stuff to the maquiladora, to the manufacturing company. You take the 3-ton truck and bring the whatever it was needed there, and you run. If you didn't know what was something that you were asking, you will go to the areas and ask why this part is here and why it's needed and what is their function, and you just go around and learn. So this is a never learning process, and this kind of business, you always have something new to read and to look, and people around and brands, and everything is new, and countries, and so it's a never-ending process of keeping yourself busy and producing money at the end. From this, I was recommended by a big corporation, Motion Industries, that I was making some deals with them there, and they asked me to come to the States, and from here, I was 7 years in a corporation that was import-exporting to Mexico. From that one, it was successful, so they sold it before General Motors crashed, and then I was unemployed. When they told me it's gonna be sold, I made my company, and I opened it from nothing, from scratch, and the way is true here. I opened all my industries in 2005, and it has been a very successful in a humble way, and a very good corporation. Right now it's a corporation, and it's led by me and my kids, and just by the help of a website that my young son that had at the time 12 years old, he made a website.
Wow.
He helped me to develop more customers in Mexico, and from this, right now with his skills and more resources from the internet, I'm having more business, more customers, and growing to Latin America in the future, and just growing. It's a never-ending growing, never-ending learning process, and for me it was not difficult. I never had boundaries in my mind. I needed a job, I needed to place food on the table for my kids, and that was the door open, and I took it. So it's just to follow what is open, the chances. And
I have a question for you. Kind of like with us, we had really good, we had a good background where our fathers said, just do it, you can do it, Mija. Do you have the same background, or were you always on your own? I mean, because there's all types of different people that start different things. What was your background?
this is like connecting the dots from Steve Jobs, because I was so bored in the afternoons when I was 17 years old and I was studying business administration, and in front of my house there was a school for boys, and this school was for technical stuff, and I was so bored and my mother don't let me go out, so I told my mother I will go to that school in the afternoons because I'm bored, I don't want to make course at home. So I went to that school and took a class for 1 year of technical engineering drawing, architectonic drawing, engineering at the most, and some other stuff from this career. And this school, Secati, was just for boys. At that time, we were like 2 or 3 girls in the classroom, 50 boys classroom. So coming from a private school where only girls were in the classroom, I'm in this classroom taking this class, I was awful in my notes. I was always awful, but my learning process was used for something. Later on, I'm a business administration, I have English, and I have this technical drawing, and right now what I do, I export. I use English to take my vendors, I use my Spanish to take my customers' service. I use my technical drawing knowledge because I read every day specs sheets and all the engineering plans that I have to reach. So everything, and my business administration skills give me the power to make the process of buying, sales, of organize, plan, and do whatever I want in business. So for me, it's the same to sell shoes for a woman than to sell a motor. The process is the same. And for me, it's not a boundary in what a job for men or for women. This is only a world, and this is men and women, and whatever can do whatever's in front of them. Men can do awesome dresses for us. There are great designers for shoes, and they cut hair dearest. So, a woman can do the same. There are excellent women right now in Mexico. You can see in the maquiladoras, in the manufacturing companies, great girls starting engineering, starting architecture, and doing great job. Right now, when I was there 20 years ago, I maybe was the only woman walking with high heels around the facilities. At that time, there was no QS and ISO, and you don't need to use those dielectric shoes. So I could walk with high heels and skirts, but right now it's not a surprise to see women making a lot of processes in maquiladoras, in manufacturing companies. I hope, I can think in the United States it's the same, but you can see, if a man can be a soldier, a woman can be a soldier, what's there for us that we cannot do?